Greetings, I am Dr. Latifa A. Hamid, and I'm back again. We talked about last time about how trauma keeps showing up in my relationships and how to heal it. And as we know, when we talk about trauma, we know triggers is a big part of trauma. So today I want to talk a little bit about triggers versus reality. Sometimes people might say that was a trigger when they might mean that they were annoyed, that they were upset, because trigger is a specific concept, a stimulus that activates the automatic unconscious nervous system response that's tied to a past threat that has not been fully resolved. The reality of triggers is not just being upset, it feels sudden, overwhelming, and disproportionate, pulling you into old memories or body sensations. It's rooted in the past, and triggers are sensory reminders, body sensations, tones, emotions, and sounds that link to unresolved issues or stress. When trigger fires, your body reacts as if danger is present, although you may be safe. This can cause panic, anxiety, rage, flashbacks, and disassociation. Your brain is constantly predicting possible future events based on past experiences. A trigger is less about the external event and more about preparing your brain for the scenario it is anticipating. Now, let me explain the difference between triggers and reality. Not all strong reactions are triggers. If the emotions you are feeling are related to the current situation and not tied to past unresolved issues, that is an emotional response and not a trigger. When we use trigger loosely, we can weaken its meaning and make the deepened the nervous system. We can make that memory process there. We can make it uncertain. We have to recognize that triggers are signals, not flaws, that help us identify and address the underlying stress issues rather than suppressing the reaction. Sometimes we want to just push it down, but to pull it out, it helps you in the long run because again, those triggers begin to be less and less as time goes on. Okay, lastly, I want to talk about how to respond when you are triggered. First, you want to recognize the signs: increased heart rate, sweating, sometimes in the palm of your hands, muscle tensions that you are nervous, and it happens in your nervous system. And that's reacting to all of the things that are going on. Next, you want to ground yourself. Use sensory exercises like mindful observations, guided sensory meditation, and journaling, just to name a few. Identify the triggers and the emotions it ignited, and don't blame yourself or others. Work at getting to the root of it by working with a therapist or self reflections to process what the unresolved issues of the past might be. Sometimes we need help in figuring out how past trauma has caused this disruption. Triggers are real and they activate powerful and voluntary responses linked to past experience. They're not the same as all strong emotions, because a key difference is whether the reaction is tied to unresolved threats and whether it feels unrelated to the current situation. For instance, if someone says something simple to you and you go off and act irrationally, that's a trigger. Understand this distinction can help you respond more effectively and reclaim control over your emotional experiences. I hope this was helpful. Until next time, God bless.